The Honda Civic as we know it is dead. I mean, gone are the days when they used to be affordable, they used to be fun. Now they're all serious, they're all sporty, and they're all about the performance. But thank goodness that we got what we have right here. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here for Zigwheels.Ph, and today we've got what I consider the true successor of the Honda Civic of old, the Honda City Sedan V variant.
Oh Lord, here we go again. I just dropped 2 tabs and I lost my friends. Oh Lord, here we go again. I just dropped 2 tabs and I lost my friends. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go again. I just dropped 2, drop.
So starting with the front end of the Honda City Sedan, you've got this chrome strip right here, which of course is considered as the front wing of the entire design. And you got this chin at the bottom, and it doesn't have any carbon fiber trim in it at all. It's just body colored, and overall it does give you that sharper edge, especially when you compare it to the other subcompact sedans in the market today. Now you've got your DRLs here. They're LED DRLs. Unfortunately, the headlamps, they are not LED. They are halogen projector headlamps, but that's okay. You know that I love contrast, especially with headlamps. I like how yellow and white blend in together. Some people not like it, but I personally do. Now heading over to the side profile of the Honda City Sedan V variant, you still have that unmistakable and undeniable and not subtle at all character line that runs across the entire length of the vehicle. Now you got your 16-inch alloy wheels right here. Now those 16-inch wheels are shod in 185/55 R16 tires, which in my opinion is kind of thin, but that would factor in with the fuel economy, which we'll be discussing later on. And the shape, as you notice, it definitely differs itself from the previous generation Honda City because it gives it a shorter rear end right there. And you would imagine that the trunk space might be sacrificed a little bit, but you'd be surprised as we head over to the back how much it has right there in the trunk. Now to my favorite part of the design of the Honda City Sedan, especially in the V variant, actually in all variants. You have this nice smoke tail lamps right here, which can be found on all variants of the City, and it really blends well in this taffeta white color. Now, this tail lamps here, they have this LED light bars here, and it kind of breaks off in a way. It's not a complete line, but I kind of like it because it kind of looks sharper, looks shark-like in the overall proportions of things, and it really blends well, really nice. You got this camera right here, and the interesting part about this camera is that it's got 3 views. It's got wide, ultra wide, and top down, so that can definitely help you out, especially with parking this thing, because it does not have any proximity sensors. Underneath, you won't find any exhaust ports right there. It's tucked underneath there, and you don't have the same diffuser or carbon fiber looking diffuser at the bottom. All you got right here are these side reflectors right there. Also, you got a shark's fin antenna up top. I gotta say, the entire look of this thing kind of gives it a more European, a more Germanic feel, if you know what I mean. But it kind of blends well to the entire aesthetic of the Honda City, and I like it. Now to the best part. Now, people would think that having a sedan would be detrimental to having a lot of space, carrying a lot of load. So people would go over to the crossovers, to the SUVs, or even hatchbacks. But you got 519 liters of space, which is definitely more than enough. The only thing that I don't like about this part though, that those seats, they don't split down. So if you have longer items that you need put in there, for example, our director right there is kind of long guy. He won't be able to fit here longitudinally, but it's fine. All right, so inside the Honda City Sedan, the V variant, I'm definitely not picky when it comes to dashboard design, dashboard materials, but on the Honda City Sedan, it seems particularly rougher and harder than any other car we reviewed recently, but at least it has a clean design. It does have some sort of texture to it, which gives you the impression that it's a soft touch material, but unfortunately, it is not. Now, right here, the aircon vents, the AC vents have this hexagonal bezels around the vents, which gives it a little bit more interesting touch. Definitely gives it a break when it comes to the monotony of the entire dashboard, but that's basically just it. You even have piano black in the strip right here, right in the middle, as well as on the center console. But you know how much I don't like piano black, but that's okay because these parts, you barely touch it. You got your 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system. I like how this looks. Now, a lot of people have been harping against it because of how it looks, but to me, it's perfect. I mean, look at it. The refresh rate, out of this world. Even when you scroll through the menu right here, it looks like it has a high refresh rate and there is no lag at all. The 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I mean, it's a shame if you have Android style icons and you don't have Android Auto. And it powers 4 speakers. The 4 speakers are definitely okay. They're not the best, but it definitely does the job, and I like it. Look at this, right below the 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, there is some sort of thumb rest for your fingers. So yeah, even if you're scrolling to the different menu systems right here, you definitely won't get tired because you have somewhere to rest your fingers at, which is definitely helpful. Plus you got these nice dials for the AC controls here. It's a single zone automatic climate control, which is great. Plus this USB port at night, if you have your headlamps on, there's a small LED light right there that acts like a convenience feature. So you can easily see and find your USB ports. So those small things, those small niggles are actually what makes me like Hondas. I mean, the materials won't definitely win any awards, but the ergonomics of the interior, the inside, is definitely top notch. All right, so everything is nice. It's definitely a comfortable drive. It rides low as any Honda should. So even if you don't look sporty on the outside, while you're driving, you definitely feel sporty. The seats are nicely bolstered. Plus, there you go. The steering wheel is adjustable for rake and reach. You got a small trip computer right between these manual dials. And yeah, there's so much to talk about in here, inside the Honda City sedan. Even if it is a mid-range variant, there's still a lot to consider. And we even haven't gotten to the back yet. So let's check that out. All right, so here in the back seat of the Honda City sedan, I really dig it. I mean, I'm 5'11" and a half, and I still have a lot of space for my knees and my legs, even if I'm sitting behind my optimum driving position. And this is being very ungenerous, being very selfish to the back, because I have my Honda Broline on right here, but I still have a lot of space. The seats right here, they're bolstered, they're nice, and they're definitely ensconced in a way where you're definitely not going to be jostled or moved around, even if the driver is driving very Honda-like or very aggressively. Plus, you have the aircon vents right here. Unfortunately, you do not have any USB ports at all, but you would definitely be thankful that you got something out of this car with those aircon vents, and I really appreciate that. There are no map pockets for the left passenger, but you do have one on the right, and that's basically it. Headroom is definitely fine. You can see from the outside that the space is, well, this is definitely a higher vehicle than usual subcompact sedans, and it shows when you sit down right here. So this is a Honda after all, so let's go ahead and take this for a drive, and I want to give you my impressions and tell you why I think this is the Honda Civic's real successor. All right, so we're behind the wheel of the Honda City Sedan V. Well, it's definitely not as different as I thought it would be from the Honda City Hatchback. In fact, pretty much feels the same. So under the hood, you've got a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated dual overhead cam iVTEC engine that makes 119, let's say 120 horsepower and 145 Newton meters of torque. Powering all that power to the front wheels is a continuously variable transmission. And since Honda's been using CVTs with the Honda City since the second generation, I can definitely say that they have been perfecting and improving upon that technology continuously. And I'd say they definitely nailed it with this one. How can I say? And the power delivery. See, as you can see, it definitely is a smoother drive than what it was in the previous Honda Cities or with any other CVTs that they've manufactured for that fact. So power delivery is definitely more linear, and it doesn't jump at you when you dig into the accelerator pedal right there. Now, a lot of people might complain about the engine noise, but let's talk about that since we're discussing it anyway. Honda fans definitely enjoy that VTEC growl, the VTEC engine noise coming from the engine bay right there whenever you hit the high RPMs. And this engine definitely wants to rev. So steering, it's electronically powered, right? So you have electronic power steering here, but when you're driving in the city, it's very light, but when you're up to speed, it stiffens up because you don't want to have light steering when you're traveling more than 60 kilometers per hour, or even 100 kilometers per hour, because that's not safe, that's dangerous. So it keeps you planted, it's well planted, and thanks to the suspension, you got McPherson struts up front, and yeah, it's still a torsion bar rear suspension in the back, but it's tuned definitely in a way for you to be more, it's very fun to drive, let's say it that way. It might not be as comfortable as some passengers or some drivers would want it to be, but it's a Honda. And Hondas like it hard. Going through corners, body roll is kept at a minimum, but don't get me wrong, it's still there because of the higher profile tires. And I want to talk about those tires, by the way. It's got 185/55 R16 tires. The reason why Honda chose to give the Honda City skinny tires is because they want to maintain the fuel economy. And of course the comfort, the ride comfort as well. As it stands right now, fuel economy of the Honda City, well, in the city, is about 10-11 kilometers per liter. And that's not bad. That's definitely not bad, especially with the world opening up, with COVID going away, and traffic getting back to normal, which is hell. 10 to 11 kilometers per liter is not bad. I've been watching a lot of other reviews, and they say that they've been getting 13 or even 14 kilometers per liter in the city. I was never able to achieve that because I'm having too much fun driving the Honda City with eco off. Once you get down the highway, oh yeah, that's where I was able to achieve around 17 to 18 kilometers per liter. Again, I'm comparing myself with others. You get 20. I'm not sure how they did that, but I got 16, 17, 18, around that mark. The safety features include, you got airbags, you got ABS with electronic brake force distribution. You only got disc brakes up front and drum brakes in the rear, but for a car this size and with this much power, that's perfectly fine, especially for an economy car. You got a rear backup camera, you got a stability control, you got traction control right there. You even have hill start assist. It would be nice if this had Honda sensing, but what that would do is that it's gonna turn the Honda City into the next Honda Civic, which we definitely don't want, because the Honda Civic's price is getting way up there. This is definitely right there in the sweet spot. I wish it had more safety features, but it's fine. If you can keep the price down, that's okay. Speaking of price, this variant of the Honda City sedan, the V variant, is available and starts at 1,018,000 pesos. A few months ago, it was below 1 million pesos, but now due to different economic factors, of course, we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, 1,018,000 pesos. So at 1,018,000 pesos, you're dangerously close, or even at par, or on par, with top-of-the-line models from the competition. If you probably would have priced this lower than it is, it might be a really good buy, but as it stands right now, you'll have a few things to figure out. I mean, what are you getting when you buy a Honda City? Even at the mid-grade variant, you get a great engine, an amazing engine, I gotta say. You got great handling, you got tons of space inside, you get Honda engineering. That's what you pay for when you buy a Honda and a Honda City. But is that going to be enough to sway you from buying a less, well, let's just say a less powered vehicle, a vehicle that might be a little rough on the edges, when you could just go ahead and buy a Honda City and get it over with? See, it's a tough choice. So that's our review of the Honda Civic. Yeah, just kidding. It's the Honda City sedan, the V variant. But before I give you my final impressions, here are 3 things that I love about it and 3 things I think they can probably work on. So the first thing I probably would be nitpicking about this car are those tires. I mean, the wheels are fine. They're 16-inch wheels, which is definitely a bigger wheel than you would want like 15 years ago. But in this thing here, it's standard, it's normal. But I wish those tires would have been at least 195s or 205s. But as you noticed in the drive earlier, it really helped out a lot with the comfort and the fuel economy. I just wish it looked better. Second thing that I might find a little bit iffy about this variant are the safety features. Sure, it's got dual airbags and all the standard safety features, but I mean, it could have had at least some proximity sensors, some backup sensors, or at least some forward sensors right there as well, because this is definitely a bigger car than the previous Honda City, and it would help out a lot with the safety, especially if it had even more safety features. Plus, I mean, Honda Sensing is a thing now, right? Well, could have had that. And the third thing I don't like about the Honda City, the V variant right here, are the interior amenities. I know that Honda engineers, if they had it their way, they just include the engine, 2 seats, and they'd call it a day. That's it. The entire interior must have been an afterthought to them because everything's really scratchy. The dashboard, the door panels. I mean, it's got some soft touch materials where you're gonna rest your hands into, but I mean, they could have added at least a little bit of class to the interior amenities, but hey, I'm just nitpicking here, but what do you think? Now we got that out of the way, here are 3 things I absolutely love about the Honda City. So first thing is that engine and transmission. Now here are a couple of words, some letters that would definitely get Honda fans excited. 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine. It's a DOHC engine at that, mated with a CVT heading over to the front wheels at 119 horsepower, 145 newton meters of torque. It's definitely class leading, and it's more than you're gonna ever need to move a subcompact sedan, but Honda went ahead and gave it to you. It's definitely their strong suit. Engines are definitely a Honda marquee. The second thing I love about the Honda City is the exterior looks. Now, wheels aside, I definitely love how the Honda City has evolved over the years. It looks like a baby Honda Civic. Like I said, it definitely builds up with my earlier premise that this is the Honda Civic's predecessor. This is its successor. It's the modern day Honda Civic. And because of that look, definitely solidifies that. And the third thing I love about the Honda City, it's the fuel economy. I mean, it's called the Honda City for a reason. It's because it definitely lives inside the city, with city fuel mileage and fuel economy as high as about 11 to 12 kilometers per liter. And with that power, that's crazy. That's a lot more than you would imagine or would expect from a subcompact sedan that can do that much power. So that's it for our review of the Honda City, but what do you think? I want to know what you think about the Honda City. Has it been usurped by other subcompact sedans out there? I know there is a market leader right there, that's a given, but given other brands right there, you got some other Japanese brands, some Chinese brands bringing out their subcompact sedans. Does it have what it takes to topple the Honda City? Drop me a comment in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you would not miss any of our videos. Thank you so much for watching. It's much appreciated. This is Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph. I'll see you guys next time.